What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea All Shade. Put a ring on it, season 3, episode 4 review. So on tonight's episode, we start off exactly where we left off on last week's episode with Otis, big bobblehead ass, getting the attitude because Dr. Nicole told him that they can't fix anything until he starts looking at himself and stop trying to blame Shea for everything. So he got a whole attitude in terms of, yeah, okay, all right, and I was mad at Dr. Nicole for talking about some, I'm sorry, girl, fuck him, and trying to pacify him and his fuck ass feelings because you're wrong, sir. I don't know if it's that building block head of his or what, but he thinks that he is right about everything. And he even says in his confessional that he doesn't feel like Dr. Nicole sees when he's right about things, like basically trying to take Charlana's side on everything. But it's like, sir, she's pointing out the obvious and the real. Like, you're not correct in this instance. You are controlling, you're passive aggressive, you're emotionally abusive, and you're manipulative, and you use fear tactics against her. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened to him in his lifetime, but homeboy got some issues. So then it gets to the point where Dr. Nicole asks, are they gonna go out on their, dates with their previous dates again? So he decides that he is gonna go on a second date with Milan. And of course, Charlana does not like this, but she plays it like she's so cool with it. She was like, okay, great. I hope you have a great time. But knowing damn well she is burning up on the inside. So because he said yes to his date, she then said yes to hers. I think that she still would have gave Brent another chance anyway, but I feel like she really decided to go on another date with him because he decided to go on another date with Milan. They are both very passive aggressive, and they're both childish as hell. They do a lot of tit for tat bullshit. Who can hurt the other one? Who can one up the other one? Like, this relationship is beyond toxic. Both of them are silly. So it gets to Shorty and Kenneth, and Dr. Nicole talks to her about her date with Hollywood, and she goes on to say that, there is a connection there. She does like him. She loves that she can talk to him because she cannot do that with Kenneth. Kenneth sitting there looking like he about to gnaw her face off. He looking like he about to have a psychotic break. That head get to leaning over and shit. That nigga is batshit crazy, and she like feeds into the crazy. Like, it's like she likes to get him at that point where he acts out and shows that he's jealous. So I'm low-key starting to feel like she liked that shit somewhat. She likes to see him act like that. So when Dr. Nicole asked is she gonna go out on another date with Hollywood, she was like, she's not gonna do it because she's starting to feel feelings there, and she wants to continue to focus on her relationship with Kenneth, and it wouldn't be fair if she starts to really feel feelings for somebody else. So of course, that bothered him, of course, that she's feeling that way towards Hollywood. But like I said to y'all on the first 3 episodes, I don't really feel like he was that into her per se. So Kenneth then says no to his second date. He's 100% just focused on him and Shorty. So then Dr. Nicole talks to Shea and Alfonso about the one-on-one session that they had at their home and their discussion on infidelity. Shea feels like Alfonso doesn't see his actions as cheating, but of course she does. And she brings up the topic of these quote-unquote friends, these female friends that he has that he never introduces her to. Never ever. She said at one event, this girl walked by and was like, hey, Alfonso, something to that extent. And he would just say, what's up? Didn't even introduce her to the girl. And then she brings up a time they was together and this girl walked up to him and asked him for some money, and he gave it to her. Didn't even say, hey, this my girlfriend Shea. Didn't introduce them. And she looking like, the fuck is going on? Girl, I wish a bitch would walk up to my nigga and asks him for some money and he give it to her on top of not even introducing me, and this ain't no family member, this ain't a best friend that I know you best friends with or some shit, bitch, please, we wouldn't even be speaking after that. Like, nigga, lose my number. How about that? But I have to low-key blame, not even low-key, high-key blame Shea at this point, because every week Shea got a new disrespectful ass story about this nigga. And at this point in their relationship, there's no respect there on his end because she has allowed him to disrespect her so many times. That's why he laughs at her fucking face, because he knows she not going nowhere. I think that he cares about Shea. I think that a part of him do love Shea, but I don't think that he's in love with her. Not at all. Not at all. Not 1% is he in love with that girl. And I'm going to explain why later on. So, everybody is like, damn, like that shit is crazy. And they laughing about this shit, but you know, Shea is literally 5 seconds from being on suicide watch. And Dr. Nicole points that out, that, you know, y'all laughing, but there's pain inside of Shea regarding this situation. Meanwhile, while they're having this whole entire conversation, as you can see in the photo, that Alfonso is sweating bullets, baby. He is a sweaty pig. He was under the hot seat and he did not know what to do, because he be on this motherfucker straight lying and playing on this girl intelligence, always saying he don't remember something, or she tripping off some stuff that happened when they were still just talking and da 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 da. And I'm like, girl, you sit up here and tolerate all this shit, so blame yourself. Like, at this point, like, blame yourself at this point, because you stick around for the foolishness. So it's only but so much blaming him that you can do at this point. So Dr. Nicole tells all the couples that they're going to go on simultaneous dates, where they'll be on the date with their, you know, new partner, but their boyfriend or girlfriend will then be at the same place that they're at. So, you know, this is about to be some food, Wayne. This is about to be some mess. Everyone is shook about this, a little uncomfortable, especially Shea. Shea is already freaking the fuck out, thinking about all the what ifs of what can happen, because, you know, this is her nightmare becoming true. So on the way home that night, you know, there's cameras in their car, and we see Shea and Alfonso arguing on the way home about this whole female friend situation, and he's getting aggravated and annoyed and thinking that she do too much, and she's holding him accountable, and of course he don't want to be held accountable. And then you see Otis and Charlana in the car, and he's steady basically mentally abusing her, telling her that she ain't telling the truth, and if they gonna continue to do this, then she needs to be honest about everything. And she tells him he needs to take accountability, and it's just a bunch of back and forth between them, and him and his monotone voice and the way he be talking. Like, he's a little scary to me. Honestly, he is a little scary to me, because it's just something off about Otis. It's something very off about him. Not only is, you know, he's conceited, you can tell he think he the shit, but he got some issues. He scared me a little bit more than Kenneth ass, and Kenneth is fucking psycho. So the next day they go on their dates. And we're at, I guess, Charlana's apartment, and because it was a different place than where they was at last time. And Otis is there, and he has on workout clothes, and she's trying to take a shot and have a drink before their dates. And he was like, nah, I'm good, because I'm about to go work out. And she was like, you about to go work out with your chain on? And he was like, yeah. And so she looking at him like, nigga, you don't ever put on no motherfucking chain to go exercise. So she already calling bullshit, and see that, you know, he trying to look good for old girl. And, you know, Charlana does not like this at all, but she tries to pretend like she's cool. And once again, he's punishing her still from her first date by being passive aggressive, by playing these little head games with her, because he knew what putting that chain on was going to do to her. And he knew that was going to further make her think, oh, he liked this girl. Oh, and get her scared and put her on pause and make her, be more focused on him than the actual process. So, Otis, as they're standing there talking, he tells her that she doesn't take the blame for anything. She always makes it seem like everything is 100% his fault. And I agree with him on that. It's both of them, but he's more of the problem than she is, but it is both of them. So Milan arrives to the house, and Charlana was like, oh, she is pretty, or gave her a hug. They were both very polite to one another. And she goes on to tell Milan that he told her that the girl was, real young looking. And Milan does look young looking because she doesn't wear makeup, and then her ponytail was very childish. It was the same ponytail I used to have when I was like 10 years old. It was literally like a 10-inch ponytail. Bumped under, and I ain't seen nobody wear a 10-inch bumped under ponytail in forever. And then on top of that, the ponytail was blue, but her hair was black, and it was like giving very much, how back in the day you would want your hair done, but you couldn't either afford no hair, or your hair that you did have, that pack hair, was old, you couldn't use it no more, but you had some blue hair or some red hair hanging and sitting around, so you like, shit, fuck it, I'm just gonna put this in my hair. That's what her ponytail was giving me. And I'm like, okay, why is she walking around with this 1992 ass ponytail? But okay, girl, you like it, I love it. So, you could tell that Charlana was being low-key funny in the girl face, even though she complimented her and told her she was pretty. She was really, zooming in on the girl looks young aspect. And I'm like, Charlana, you don't look that old your damn self. You literally look young yourself. The only reason we can tell that you're a little bit, in your late 20s is because you wear makeup and wigs. If you didn't have that on, you and Milan would look exactly alike. So, they end up leaving, and Otis, I'm sorry. So let me go back. So Charlana then went on to say in her confessional that Milan isn't his type. And I was like, you sure? Because you niggas favor. Y'all both light skinned, skinny, basic looking girls. Like nothing too over the top, nobody. Both of you look like you lack a little bit of confidence and you look naive. He looked like he liked to date young girls that he can run over and control. So she's very much his type. So Otis, like I said in his confessional, he says that he doesn't think he'll really trip to see her on a date with somebody else. And I was like, I don't believe that. So Shea is in the bathroom getting ready, doing her wine curl. She looks really pretty. And she's getting ready for her date, and Alfonso come in the bathroom to check on her, and he tell her to button up her top. She doing a little bit too much, and she brings up the fact that this is her worst nightmare coming true. And this girl actually starts to cry. And, he hugs her and everything and tries to calm her down. And in his confessional, he was like, damn, he was like, when she started to cry, that really showed me this girl really do love me. Like, it was like he was shocked at how much this girl loves him. He was like, cause she jealous and I ain't even left out the house yet. He was like, it almost made me tear up a little bit. But it was the statement of like, damn, this girl really loved me. That said everything I needed to know. That nigga, well, I already knew it in the first place, but he does not love her. Like I said, he is not in love with Shea, cause even he looking like, damn, this girl love me and I'm over here on some bullshit. Like I done took this shit a little bit too far. I think that was the first time it probably hit him that, damn, like I'm doing this girl wrong. Like this girl straight up love me. And I think that, like I said, he has love for Shea. I think that he loves Shea. But obviously by his actions, he's not in love with her and he is not serious about her at all. The fact that he won't introduce her to his family nor his friends, he's cheating, obviously. He's so disrespectful. He laughs in her face. I think the only reason why he's with Shea is because she's cute. She got a nice body and she dumb. And she'll fall for anything that he gives her. She's easy. Even though she bitch and complain, she's still easy because I can go out here and cheat and then come home and lie to her, even though the evidence is right here in her face. She gonna believe me, and we gonna continue to do whatever it is. So why would I leave her alone? I got a in-house pussy. I got in-house maid, cook, all of that. So yeah, of course I'm gonna stay with her. So, Otis and Milan end up going to a yoga class. But on the way there, they're in the car talking. And she, asks, did they put any stipulations on what they can and cannot do when they date other people? And he was like, we had an agreement that, we won't kiss or touch on anybody. And so Milan was like to Otis, if I try to kiss you, would you let me? He was like, you can try. The fact that he even said you can try, baby, disrespectful as hell. I think that he does like Milan. I think that he is attracted to her. I think, because like I said, they look alike. Milan and Charlana look alike. I think that he done found him another new dummy. So Brent ends up bringing Charlana to the yoga class, and he at least got her flowers. Otis ain't get old girl shit. Otis seems like the type that barely does anything romantic for you. Probably the type that only gets you a gift on your birthday and Christmas. It seems like he's used to bitches being all on him and doing for him. So when they walk in, Otis was slightly pressed. He was pressed to see Charlana with Brent because he is intimidated by Brent. And he kept on looking over there at them. You could tell he was very uncomfortable, even though he tried to play it off, but he didn't do a good job. He failed. So then he, finally gets himself together after the initial shock of seeing her with this dude. And he started, checking out Milan's back tattoo and stuff and looking all at it. And of course, Charlana had to, say something to make her presence known. I'm like, girl, we see you. We know you there. Why are you being pressed like a panini? Like you making yourself look thirsty. Stop. So Charlana then lets Brent stretch her out because he was over there looking at old girl tattoos. Once again, they doing a tit for tat shit. And it's like, grow the hell up. Both of y'all are childish as fuck. So then Charlana comments on them not being good at yoga. And I'm like, girl, did he say anything to you? Like, shut up and focus on your new dude. Like, shut up. So Brent even peeped how jealous she was and stuff. And I would have been turned off like that after that. I wouldn't have wanted to go on another date with her after that. So after the class, Otis then comes over to try to give her a kiss. And she, moves her head and was like, no, absolutely not. And go wash your hands. That go wash your hands, baby. I was feeling that. It was like, go ahead on, Charlana. About time you gave him back the energy he gave you. Otis was blown away that she would not let him kiss her. That nigga didn't know what the fuck to do with himself. He didn't know if she was genuinely mad. He didn't know if she did that because she was with Brent. And like I said, he's intimidated by Brent. So that nigga didn't know what to do with himself. So then we switch over to Kenneth and Shorty. They're at the crib. They're waiting on their dates. And they're having a conversation about their relationship and everything. And, he is 100% focused on them being together, them getting through this process and still staying together. She, however, feels like he don't realize that at the end of this process, they might not be together. Like, Kenneth is still like, you mine, bitch. If I can't have you, can't nobody have you. And so I'm like, girl, you need to pay attention to this shit. Because it's giving very much you take care of Kenneth. And Kenneth is not trying to give up this lifestyle. So then we see Shea heading on her date with the dude named Asar. He a typical nigga, the beard, he got the little Travis Scott hairdo that I didn't like on him. Got a little muscles, Gucci little shoes, little typical nigga, think he the shit. Not my type per se, but I could tell that he would be Shea's type. So they go to like a little Benihana little joint. And of course, I was right. He's more her speed, more her vibe. He flirting with her. She getting all hot and bothered and everything. Things are going really great on her date. Then we see Alfonso waiting outside the restaurant for his date. This nigga got all the beard oil, all the oil sheen in his beard. That motherfucker was glistening and sparkling like the stars in the night sky, baby. He had on all his ice, honey. He had on a red silk shirt. And I'm like, nigga, the way you sweat, you don't need to have on shit silk. I'm like, this nigga love him a silk shirt. You old Biggie wannabe. Like, that shit so played out. Like, but okay, nigga. So he's standing there waiting on old girl. His date, Ty Cherie, walks up. She's cute, tall, statuesque girl, big boobies. She was giving me a 90s ponytail too. I was like, okay, what is going on with these 90s style ponytails? And I needed for it to be done right. If you gonna do it, you could tell like she did it herself or some shit. It looked like it was old and like she had too much oil sheen in her hair and it was starting to get like that greasy texture. But other than that, you know, she was a cute girl. So, of course, she likes what she sees. He's her type, tall, dark, handsome, that type of thing. I was like, okay. So they walk into the restaurant and they just walk in and they sit down. Alfonso does not speak to Shea, you know, because Dr. Nicole told them to focus on their dates. And so, of course, Shea felt some type of way that he didn't speak. So she was like, hi. And so he was like, hi. The girl spoke or whatever. And after that, the whole vibe was just off after that. Shea had an attitude at that point. She totally forgot about her date. She was zeroed in on Biggie Smalls and Ty Cherie, child. Her whole attitude changed. She had an attitude, a stank face, and she was just mad that he did not acknowledge her. And I'm like, bitch, y'all just left the same house. Calm the fuck down. That girl know that you're his girlfriend. Simmer down, sweetheart. Calm your tits. So she's sitting over there angry in the face, and Ty is over there talking to Alfonso, and she was like, oh, you gonna be in trouble when you get home. And Shea was like, what you say? What you say? And I was like, girl, you just had to say something. You just had to make your presence known, even though you're right in the same room. So she was like, the girl was like, who you talking to me? And Shea was like, yeah, you were looking this way, so I didn't know if you were talking to me or him. And Ty was like, no, I wasn't. But if I did, I would have said it directly to you. Like, Ty was not playing. She came with that pressure right off the rip. Like, girl, who the fuck you talking to? Like, I'm not about to play these games with you. So Shea was like, Fonzo, mute your person. And I'm like, what does mute your person mean? But okay, girl. So he's sitting there just cheesing and just grinning and shit like a damn billy goat. And I'm like, nigga, what is funny? Like, he always fucking laughing and that shit is annoying. So Shea and Ty get to arguing, child. He's sitting up there. And so Ty was like, don't say nothing to me, like, period. And Shea was like, I can say whatever I want to say. And Ty was like, and you gonna look like an idiot. Which she did, because everybody is clowning Shea on social media. So Ty was like, you know, I'm gonna sit right here and you still won't do nothing. And she didn't. Because if she really wanted to do something, Shea had time, space, and opportunity to do so. Asar had stood up to, you know, block her, but he really wasn't putting forth that much of an effort because she didn't even try to really push him out the way. Like, she wasn't trying to fight. She ain't want no smoke for real. I'm like, Shea, you might want to sit down because Ty looked like she been fighting her whole life. So your little cute ass, you might have a little bit of a hand, but she looked like she know how to throw some hands. So Shea was like, Fonzo, you might want to tell her I'm gonna say whatever. And Ty was like, you can say something, but you ain't gonna do nothing. I like Ty, baby. So Fonzo just still sitting there grinning. He ain't went over there to, you know, calm Shea down, to push her back. He just letting old boy handle it, which once again shows that he don't give a fuck about her. That he ain't even tell old girl like chill the fuck out, like that's my lady or no shit like that. Even though Shea was 100% in the wrong and she started it. So Asar then, like I said, is standing up blocking Shea, and Ty then stand up, and she was like, "Girl, are you that insecure, sweetheart?" Finally, Fonzo says, hey, sit down. So the girl sits down. And I'm like, you gonna tell her to sit down, but you're not gonna get up and take your fat ass over there to go check on your girlfriend. Like, I don't understand, what is it about this nigga that Shea likes so much? It gotta be the fact that he's affiliated with MMG and that he got a little coin, and she likes the glamour and the 5 seconds of fame of it all. Because girl, it ain't that motherfucking serious. Not with this sweaty ass Negro. So, Fonzo in his confession was like, Dr. Nicole said, don't pay attention to your partner's date. I guess she forgot that part. So Fonzo finally gets up to go check on Shea. And meanwhile, Shea and Ty still going back and forth. Asar tries to get Shea to focus on him, and I'm looking at him like, you a dummy too, because why you trying to calm her the fuck down? As soon as she got to acting silly and arguing with this girl when she knew what the process was gonna be, and starting shit and yelling and acting a fool out in public, I would have gotten up and left, because there is nothing about you now that is even mildly attractive to me, that you would act a donkey like this in public and on national television. If I was a nigga, my dick would have went soft. I wouldn't have gave a fuck about her. I would have been like, check please, and dipped on her ass, because that shit is fucking embarrassing. So Shea was like, I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to leave. So Asar and Alfonso trying to, I guess, stop her, but she's able to get past them. She got her purse in her hand and she walks up on Ty. And so Ty grabs a plate off the table like she was gonna hit her with it. And Shea was like, I wish you would hit me with that. Everybody jump in between them, and then the shit goes off. Girl, Shea, please go to counseling, because she is a perfect example of somebody that is outwardly pretty. She's a very pretty girl. Very pretty. She's in tune with her feelings, even though she don't listen to the motherfuckers. Cute shape. She don't seem like she dumb as far as, book wise, and nothing. She dumb when it comes to relationship. But it goes to show you can be the prettiest thing in the world, and that don't mean shit. You can still be the prettiest bitches, let the niggas do the worst shit to them and have some of the lowest self-esteem in the world. Because I'm looking at her like, girl, you know how many good men that you could pull, a man that got money and all of that will take care of you and treasure you, and you sitting up here wasting your time with this whack ass, sweaty, bald ass nigga. Girl, get your life in order. He disrespects you on every episode, and in life, period. Girl, so she looked a fool as always. And that was the end of the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode, to put a ring on it. Overall, I give tonight's episode an A-. It was good. It was really good and entertaining. Let's talk down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.